Hey guys,
What's up, Geek family? It's Pete,
it's me, Justin.
and welcome to another exciting episode of the Alamo City Geek Speek. It's been a rough and tumble 2 weeks, but we're finally back on the microphone. Coming at you today, we're going to talk about some movies that we both love, and it involves some aliens and predators.
Yeah, this was a fun talk.
Okay, and we're also going to be talking about some Destiny, just because it came out this week. Nothing on that, alright. And a couple of other things. So, stay tuned to another exciting episode of the Alamo City
Geek Speak!
The game goes on.
What's up, guys? That was a cool intro track by B3 Bomber. Check them out on SoundCloud at B3 Bomber. We're going to put a link in the bottom so you can check that out.
If you don't check it out, we may have to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, we may have to pay that guy, so you really do have to go and check that out for us, please.
I would say he's like the next, what's that dude with the long hair, Asian dude? I think he's Asian. The name sounds Asian.
Was it John Choi?
No, the guy, he always does Florida. Well, it doesn't matter. Fact of the matter is, this guy's like the next Dead Mouse. Except, I don't want to say that because I heard Dead Mouse is a bit of a prick, so he's a cool guy. Either way, make sure you check his music out. He has a lot of tracks on there, all really enjoyable.
And he's very excellent at what he does. So, Justin, what have you been up to this week? Or these past 2 weeks, because we haven't recorded a show in a while.
That is true. It has been about 2 weeks since we recorded. Jeez. You know, I totally forgot we didn't record last week. And now, when I think about it, it's like, it has been. I mean, I see you every day at work, so it's not like it's been like forever.
It's not, I mean, I guess it's not forever for us, but for you guys, it must be an eternity, right? It's got to be. You guys have got to be wondering what we're doing and how we've been.
One of us. No, so like I don't know. I've been playing. Taken King came out this week, so I've been playing a lot of that.
Right.
Also, I've been really just kind of like living life, you know, enjoying life. No, I've really been watching movies and stuff. I caught up with. It's kind of embarrassing to say. Third time going over the American Dad seasons.
Goodness,
season 1 through
really?
Season 1 through 9. I love the show. I think that Family Guy pales in comparison to American Dad, and then the Cleveland Show was a neat attempt at a spin-off, but it didn't work, and I think American Dad's right where they should have been.
I think you're right about that, because I think about Seth MacFarlane, and I don't like to think about Family Guy or Ted. I like to think about American Dad.
And Mark Wahlberg.
And A Million Ways to Die in the West.
And Mark Wahlberg.
And Mark Wahlberg.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, as long as you give me that one.
Right, yeah. I mean, only because he's awful in everything else that he does.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt that he's definitely...
Transformers.
You can't hold that over his head the entire time.
Transformers.
Look, if we pointed out the shortcomings of every actor that made a bad movie with Michael Bay, we'd really only have a handful. But then, I mean, like, I really think that if it wasn't for Transformers, Shia LaBeouf wouldn't be crazy like he is right now. So,
well,
and
I guess we have him to thank for
without that inspirational "do it" video, then like, I don't know if I would have done half the stuff I've done recently. So, but yeah, no, I mean, just playing a lot of video games, watching movies, you know, kind of the same stuff. I feel sad that I got into Taken King because it's such a fantastic expansion, but I also feel like I've been spending a lot of time there. So,
well, I have a bit of a gripe with that, and we'll get to that today.
For sure.
Obviously.
Well, how have you been, sir?
It's been a rough and tumble 2 weeks, man. I'm about down to a box of stuff that I need to unpack at my new place, and just real life in general has just been kind of like really bad. But there's silver linings to everything. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. It's good
for sure.
It's good to be doing the show, and in a different kind of setting, because we're actually in the same room, if you guys can't tell.
Yeah. I mean, the audio, I think, would probably sound better. I mean, I think when we went through our tests, it sounded better, and we want to make sure we give you guys the best possible content, right? So,
right. And we set this up. This is literally like 20 minutes of us messing around with the microphone, trying to figure out what's going to sound good and what's going to sound bad.
And that's a lot of work we put into this.
Yeah. So, but I guess on the other side of that, things have been good. Life is good in general. I haven't been really playing a lot of stuff. I played MGS5. I just got the Taken King PS4 bundle, and it's awesome. It's a wonderful system. I haven't cracked open Taken King because I haven't really nobody to play on the PSN. Hey, if you guys want to hit me up on Facebook and add me and play some Taken King, I have no characters. So we can start from scratch together. 0 characters, and it's he knows what he's doing, or at least attempts to show that he knows what he's doing. I play with him on Xbox every once in a while, and he's pretty competent. So check him out. Yes. Also, real quick, since we're plugging our gamer tags, hit me up on Xbox Live at Ready Made Plague. I'm always playing online. We also started streaming for the Alamo City Geek Speak, Alamo City Geek Speak 1, and Alamo City Geek Speak 2 will be coming out. The first one is already out. The second one is in production. But check those out. Didn't mean to steal your spotlight. But also... Absolutely not.
By the way, we haven't talked about Comic-Con yet.
We haven't talked about Comic-Con.
Because
okay.
I forgot you went to Comic-Con.
So I did go to Comic-Con. All right. So, well, enough of all the, the boo-hoo stuff. We just want to thank everybody for obviously listening to the show. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your sister, tell the people you don't like about the show. Maybe they'll hate it. But, really just wanted to get that out there before we got into it, because without you guys, obviously, we wouldn't be here. So, Comic-Con. Pretty good hangover from Comic-Con the days after. I had to work, actually, that weekend. So, only got to go Friday. But Friday was great. Lots of really nice people at Comic-Con. Lots of great deals on stuff.
Oh, I heard people were picking up comics at super cheap prices.
Yeah, I must have picked up maybe about 5 books, myself only. I'm pretty humble about that.
Forgive me, because I am what you would consider a comic noob.
Okay.
Now, when you say books, are you talking about the legitimate, comic books? Or are you talking about, the thick spine, novel or whatever, the Old Man Logan kind of thing?
Okay, yeah. Oh, well, I mean... It's both. I pick up some trades. That's what they call trade paperbacks or hardcovers, whatever. And then I also picked up some singles. The singles were just stuff that I was missing, or stuff that I wanted to get into. Starting to get into Southern Bastards. Southern Bastards is these really, really, really crazy comic book. You guys should check it out. It's out on Image right now, and I believe they have a couple of trades on that. Definitely check out that book. I also picked up Gem issue 1.
Oh, Gem.
Yeah.
I remember that. Okay, so is that a re-release or the original comic?
I gotta tell you, haven't cracked it open yet. I wanted it because of the cover, and actually I got it as a gift, but I think I'm gonna keep that because it's such a nice cover.
Dude, for sure. I mean, that was a big part of our childhood too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't one of those things that I would go out of my way. I was more of a He-Man fan.
I was too. I was more He-Man and more Transformers oriented.
I don't know if I would even say Gem is really on the same. He-Man and Gem are on the same plane, because one is a big bulky blonde dude running around.
You got She-Ra.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess because I never really paid enough attention to Gem, but I think that when I did, the very few memories I have of it have always been fond memories.
Yeah.
I actually had a Gem sticker I had on my phone, and then I lost my sticker. So.
That sucks.
It does. I still have my Cobra Commander, though. It's under my phone case, so it's pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome. Comic-Con was great. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Manu Bennet got arrested on Saturday for supposedly smacking somebody, or maybe getting into a slight altercation with a fan at the Grand Hyatt.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I think it was the Grand Hyatt. And you know what? I understand. There are probably a lot of people who like the show Arrow here. There's probably a lot of people who have seen the show Spartacus.
Yes.
Or as I like to call it, Wienerkiss, because there's a lot of wieners on the TV
There's
show.
There's quite a bit of wieners on Spartacus.
So just give you a heads up. If you haven't seen it, you're going to watch it on HBO, or I think they have it on Netflix. Just be prepared. Blood and Sand, all of those, it's just a lot of male nudity. There's a lot of nudity, period, because it's set in a specific time, but either way, brace yourselves. I was so excited when he got arrested. I think mostly because of the idea of I just like the idea of a celebrity getting arrested in San Antonio, especially a celebrity who I wouldn't even really call him an A-lister anywhere near that. He was definitely a C or B-lister.
I would say B. He's got quite a following from Arrow, and I didn't notice ahead of time until we actually went to the panel for the Lord of the Rings. They had a Lord of the Rings panel.
That's right. He played he played the Pale Orc, right?
He played the Pale Orc in The Hobbit. I can't remember his name, but that guy. I guess he did the voice for him, and then he also did the motion capture, and and this is very interesting to me. He did all of his stuff in 2 or 3 days for the first movie. Is what he told everybody.
Wow, I mean, he is in really good shape, and once you do Spartacus like that, I mean, the guy was ripped from day one. So I'm sure he was able to do a lot of cool stuff. The only thing I couldn't get over was that little mustache he had was fantastic.
And you know what he was sporting at the convention, actually? He was sporting a mustache, and
so,
it looked pretty rowdy.
There's only 2 people in the world, I think, that would have a slightly worse look. And I say slightly worse look. And that is Nick Nolte during his mugshot.
Oh, man.
And that is also Gary Busey.
Gary Busey.
Ever see Nick Nolte? Very hard to confuse them because Gary Busey has those chiclet teeth. But when you look at the two of them in that mugshot comparison, very similar. That mustache mugshot was probably, in my book, up there.
I mean, I've seen the mugshot. I can't really say. I have a hard time discerning between the two. Actually, I got to tell you, even when they look normal. So, which one was in Predators or Predator 2?
That was Gary Busey.
That was Gary Busey. Okay,
because he was always talking about how our friend has a taste for meat.
That's right. And Nick Nolte was in.
I don't remember.
48 Hours.
Yes. There you go. 48 Hours. I believe that was him. Yeah. I always get, the movie I always get them confused in was Point Break. They weren't both in the movie. I guess I should have worded that properly. That was totally Gary Busey. But it's so weird to see Gary Busey in somewhat of a serious movie when you see him now and he's so crazy and he's painting on the beach, talking about the pearls of the sea and going to the sky with the eagles or something. He's on something. Either way, Manu Bennet got arrested.
Yeah, and Comic-Con was great.
Yeah.
Third year's pretty good. I'm not going to say that it was the best year, because it definitely wasn't. It pales in comparison to the second year. There was some buzz around saying that it isn't going to be that great next year either. But they have a lot more conventions coming up. There's going to be a horror themed convention.
MonsterCon, right?
MonsterCon.
I heard about that.
And there's also going to be
by the same group of people?
It's the same group of people. Same guy who owns Alamo City Comic Con is creating some additional cons for everybody. I don't think they did a toy show this year. I can't remember if they did or not.
I've always kind of associated toy shows and Comic-Con together, but I guess that's also because Comic-Con and San Japan, I feel, have the whole gamut on the whole thing.
They do have the whole gamut on there. And they're also doing a giant robot con.
Oh,
which looks incredibly interesting because
like Gundam stuff.
It's Gundams, it's Transformer, it's, I guess you want to even get a little bit crazy. It's Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's probably a little bit of Pat Labor in there, some Macross.
Look, here's the thing. I'm gonna look it up.
Alrighty.
And if Voltron is not on the list,
I'm sure it is.
I'm just saying, Voltron gets left off lists. All right.
I'm sure.
He's that guy who shows up to the party drunk, saying, "Where's my picture?" No, that's. I feel like that's gonna happen to him. I know they'll put Voltron on the list. I just wanted to kind of stand up for the lost and forgotten.
I mean, not a lot of people remember G-Force, but I don't think there was a robot in that show. There wasn't, right? I think it was just a jet.
I think that was just the jet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Jeez, I can't even remember that. I haven't seen that show in forever.
That was a great show. I remember watching that on Toonami, I think.
Yeah, because it wasn't that one of those shows where they had animation and they mixed it with 3D animation? I know for sure they had Blue Gender did that. Blue Gender did anime in 3D, and that was really cool. I want to say G-Force did it, but I bet you I'm probably wrong, so... if you know what it is, leave us a comment on the page.
or
I haven't seen it.
Or you can tweet us, or you can send us a message on Facebook.
Do all that fun stuff. Just do things.
Do all that stuff, and then share everything that you listen to.
Because
habitually,
this stuff is important.
Yeah, you want everyone to listen to us. Anyway, enough plugging.
Well, okay, so Comic-Con sounded like it was a blast. I know that since you only got to go Friday, I was thinking about going Saturday. My check finally got released by the bank. I had the same problem this week, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Which we won't name the bank, but we don't like.
Yeah, USA. Anyway, so so I was gonna go Saturday, but I decided not to go because I woke up too late, and I just didn't want to miss anything that was really awesome. I do know that with most conventions, like I went to PAX earlier this year in January.
Speaking of which, did you get your PAX ticket?
Hells yeah, I did.
And so did I.
Okay,
yeah,
here's the thing. Don't tell my job or anything, but I took the day off just to buy passes.
Okay.
Just to make sure I got the pass.
Yeah.
As soon as I kept hitting refresh, because they said the passes are going on sale now.
Right.
I kept hitting refresh. I'd like to think I was the first one to buy a pass. I probably wasn't. There's probably some kid who has a better internet connection than I do, and probably beat me to it. But it's totally fine.
Well, we'll be doing the PAX thing. Hopefully, we'll be a little bit more established. I did want to get into something real quick. Extra Life here in San Antonio.
Yes.
The charity for children's hospitals. I spoke to a representative for them, and we may be doing some streams for them in hopes of raising some money for their cause. Very worthy cause, you know. They gave me a cool button, and it says, I signed up to be a hero for kids, and it kind of, brought a twinkle to my eye.
Do you know what the cause is specifically?
More specifically, it is children's hospitals.
Children's hospitals. So just kind of covering everything included with children. So
yes.
I think it's really important. I think that Extra Life is a fantastic organization, and just the ability to even potentially get in with them. You know what? The fact of the matter is, we raise $1, we raise $100. The fact is, we raised money for an important subject.
Right.
I mean, we are all kids once. A lot of us have kids. A lot of us want to have kids eventually. And the fact of the matter is, that's our future.
Exactly. And, you want to preserve that future. And unfortunately, life just happens and you get some terrible disease or, something happens to your kid and, you have to invest a lot of money into it. Well, this charity helps with that. I mean, it's, only for research and, for the benefit of them. It'd be great to, get established with them and, hopefully get some stuff. And, we're gonna work on that. We definitely want to get in, have that in the cards, and stay tuned for that. We'll more than likely do some streams, and definitely some charity stuff.
I'm looking forward to that.
And maybe a raffle of some kind. We want to be able to give back to the great city of San Antonio, because really without its citizens and everybody else who lives here. I mean, word of mouth and stuff. I mean, we wouldn't be here. So, anything that we can do to give back would be great.
Well, that's definitely fantastic, and like I said, I can't wait to kind of see where that goes. Now, having said all that, let's go ahead and get into the specifics of today's episode.
All right.
And today, surprisingly enough, we are not to be talking too much about video games.
No, we're not.
There is actually something else that has popped up on my radar, and I had some insight on that, and I don't even know if you want to call it insight. I would just say more complaints on it. Prometheus 2.
And see, Prometheus 2 is being developed by Ridley Scott.
Not.
Okay. He obviously had a clear vision with Prometheus. And I'm not gonna name names. David Lindelof, kind of came in and took the reins on the writing, and I really believe that if he had not come in, that movie would have been excellent. The way Ridley Scott had it set up was perfect.
Now we look at this. I have not seen the original lines, dialogue, notes on the original build of Prometheus. All I have to go on is what Prometheus was. And then I also have to go on what the original Alien was.
Right.
And the original Alien was an iconic horror flick. To this day, even though, well, actually, I won't even lie. I think Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection has bastardized the Aliens franchise.
I would say the third and fourth movie oh man, we're not even getting into AVP yet, but definitely Aliens. That's still a good movie.
Well, don't get me wrong. Aliens was fun. Aliens was awesome. James Cameron, hats off to you for actually doing something decent with your career. But
well, he did Terminator 2.
And he also didn't he do Titanic? He did Titanic, and he also did
Avatar.
He did Avatar, not the one where the little kid with the arrow in his head. Not the cartoon. Well, I guess it was arguable. It was the cartoon.
Well, no, yeah, he didn't. He didn't do The Last Airbender,
which was probably should have been the last movie.
Anyway,
back
to what we're talking about. Prometheus 2 is being developed.
Prometheus 2 better be better than Prometheus 1, because I needed. If Ridley Scott's gonna make a movie about aliens, I want it to be original, scary, not like. I gotta run over here. There's a giant something. I don't want to throw any spoilers out there. But fact of the matter is, if you haven't seen it by now, it's not my fault. Anyway,
sorry, spoilers ahead.
Being chased by aliens, having this giant squid octopus, it was just such a why moment, and I was just sitting there saying, this is not what I wanted. The very last moment, I think it was after the credits, or was it during the credits, when the fully grown alien comes out of the big old dude.
I think it was after the credits, but it really didn't look like an alien.
Well, see, here's the thing. This is the only part that I thought was interesting, because everyone, well, I won't say everyone knows, but being an Aliens fan, you know that when it comes to the facehuggers leaving the embryo inside the host,
right?
The alien, when it comes out, its features are based upon the host. So that's why in the original Alien, if anyone has not seen the movie or has not paid attention, when you see the alien walking around, if you look closely at the head, you can see the imprint of a human skull.
Yes, you can, yeah.
Because it came out of a human.
And it is one of the scariest images ever. Yeah. That is, super...
Well, I don't know, dude. I'm just saying, having said that, seeing the alien from Alien 3 was pretty scary, because having a dog alien chase you... who was much more mobile. That was scary.
Yeah, that's nightmare fuel at its best.
Straight up. But I thought it was neat looking. Although it did look kind of doofy with its teeth. It didn't look very. It looked like it would sit down and eat a sandwich and not eat a person.
It looked like a salamander to me.
Yeah.
And and I guess that giant octopus thing at the end of the movie, that was supposed to be a face hugger, right?
I think that was supposed to be like a progenitor face hugger, like the original.
The original face
kind
hugger.
Kind of yeah.
And they ate the engineer, right? So the space jockey, excuse me, and basically produced that monstrosity that we see at the end of the movie.
But you know what's really weird too? By the way, it's like the way that this alien came about originally in the I won't say originally, but in the Alien movies, the Queen would leave an egg.
Right.
The Queen is already an established xenomorph. Leaves an egg. The chest pusher, the facehugger would come out of the egg, grab a person, leave the egg, the embryo, and then so on and so forth. When it came to this, it seemed like those little worms in the mud, if you want, I guess it was mud. Those guys were the delivery system. So, in a sense, every single one of those was kind of like setting up a queen. So that was kind of like the queen's queen. It's weird. So it leaves an egg, which creates a face hugger, which creates an egg or an embryo, which creates an alien.
As convoluted as that sounds, Ridley Scott made this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all I'm saying is, Ridley Scott, you got one more shot at this.
You really, okay. Yeah, and you're right. He really does. Although, hey, The Martian looks great.
Okay, look, The Martian looks great, but then also let's keep in mind that he's also going to be doing supposedly a second Blade Runner.
Is that what we established earlier this week? Is that true? Is it a second Blade Runner or is it a reboot?
I swear to God, if it's a second one, that's fine. But I don't know if they're going to follow.
But you wouldn't have Deckard Cain. I guess you could because you still have Han Solo.
Yeah, you could, but he'd also be really old. I'm not going to knock Han Solo. I'm not trying to say that Harrison Ford can't do it anymore.
You really can't do Indiana Jones, but...
Yeah, but, Didn't he break his arm or something like that during the shooting of Star Wars?
I believe he broke his leg, if I remember correctly.
Dude, and then he's still like, Chewie, we're home. You know, so it's
Yeah.
like I'd totally be down to watch a movie with him there, being like Indiana Jones or Deckard Cain.
Old man Deckard Cain.
Old man Deckard, just like Old man Logan, except this time he can't come back to life. But also, let's keep in mind one thing. I would like to call this a theory because it was never quite proven. Some people have said that it's proven, but I don't believe it. That at the end, Deckard Cain realized that he's a replicant. Right? Was it replicant or Replicant? Replicant was Mega Man.
Replicant.
It was replicant. That's right.
Would be the correct nomenclature. I've heard this, and I got to tell you, I saw Blade Runner when I was very young, and I don't remember it.
The only thing I remember is the crazy accents everybody had.
I know.
It was like, wasn't it like Mexican Canadian or something?
It was something weird like that.
I gotta tell you about the future, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Awesome movie though.
No, it was
set up
fantastic.
the entire cyberpunk kind of thing on there.
Oh, for sure.
And I guess even moving forward into that, we mentioned James Cameron Aliens, because we're having this alien talk. Aliens kind of established the entire Space Marine kind of field of video games.
Oh, it for sure did. I think that if we never had aliens, let me try this again. If we did not have aliens, I don't think we'd have Halo.
No.
I don't think we'd have
You'd have no Stay Frosty.
For sure, you'd have no Game Over, man.
No Game Over.
There's a lot of okay, that's a lie. I think people have been saying Game Over before, but I think
not that context,
same.
Yeah.
Bill Paxton took that line and dipped it in gold and wore it as a chain because that was one of the best lines of the movie because it's the most iconic.
Hey,
aside from "Get away from her, you bitch."
That was a great line too.
Dude, there's not a single person. I think if they were to remake the movie, when she that would be one line for sure. Game Over, man, and "Get away from her, you bitch" would be the two lines for sure. And at the very end, when she says that, everyone would get up and say, "Hell yeah!"
Yes.
But then again, I don't know who they'd get to play Ellen Ripley, and I swear to God, if I wake up tomorrow, Aliens reboot gonna happen, and we have freaking Kristen Stewart playing.
No.
I would march to Ridley Scott's house and James Cameron's house just because he made Alien and he made Aliens.
Yeah.
And they both collectively allowed this to happen.
Yeah, I would not let them do that. Well, there was that buzz a few months ago about Neil Blomkamp, potentially doing a Aliens movie, and in that movie you would have Sigourney Weaver's character Ellen Ripley, and then you would have Bill Paxton.
Also, Corporal Hicks will be coming back.
I'm sorry, Corporal Hicks. Yeah, it was the other guy. It was and I'm drawing a blank here.
I don't remember his name.
I can't remember his name. He was in Terminator.
Yeah, he was in the first one, right?
He was in the first one.
He was technically...
He was Kyle Reese.
But, okay, here's a question. Real quick. I don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole on this one.
Right.
John Connor sent Kyle Reese back to save his mom. Kyle Reese slept with John Connor's mom. Does that make Kyle Reese his dad?
Yeah.
See, so that's the thing. Kyle Reese is not only John Connor's friend, but also his dad. That's a really weird dynamic.
That's a really weird dynamic, right? Also, I believe they've established that because I think the man who was supposed to sleep with...
was killed, right?
Yeah, he was murdered. So, hey... You're my dad now, Kyle Reese.
I can imagine the whole meeting in the boardroom.
Yeah.
I need someone to go back in time and be my dad.
I wonder if they
Oh God.
I wonder if they okay, so do you measure stamina? Do you measure? Well, we won't get into that, folks. Sorry about that. Moving on a little forward, we're hoping that Prometheus 2 is going to be great. And Ridley Scott, you really do have one more chance at greatness. Don't mess this up.
I will tell you this, because it is so, I guess you could say loosely affiliated, even though it's kind of the progenitor of the Alien movies. Because it's so loosely affiliated with it, I kind of have to bring up Alien vs. Predator.
I mean, we really don't.
We kind of have to.
Okay.
Because let's talk about some of the worst things about Aliens, the Alien franchise. We talked about Aliens being... it was the start of the Space Marine kind of thing.
Right.
Alien 3 was not too bad, but it was more of an action horror movie.
It was more, and I kind of look at Alien 3 as an art house film.
That it kind of has I think that was more of a kind of like an indie film. Of the
Yeah,
Alien. It
it
kind of
was
had more of like on a derelict ship. It's a prison ship. It's like really weird.
Yeah. It just seemed like everybody's all grimy and boring.
Yeah, and it's really. And
Except for Ron Perlman.
that's right. He was in that movie. Wasn't
He's
he?
in that movie, yeah.
Also, the shower scene, the doctor scene. That was the cool one. You remember that scene?
I don't remember that.
Where the
scene.
doctor was helping her out. The alien comes in, like bites him in the side of the head. The blood hits the freaking curtain, and it comes in. The alien puts his mouth real close to her.
I
like,
do remember.
realizes
Oh,
that she
man.
has. Yeah, dude,
That was so creepy.
dude. So I mean, I guess we could also say Alien 3 was still pretty scary.
It's still pretty
but
scary.
I think it was more of an imagery thing.
Right.
Again, you have to say the same thing with the first one, but the first one was it was the first of its kind.
The first one also was very frightening because the lack of music.
Oh my dude, the complete silence,
The complete
boom,
yeah,
boom,
that,
of the motion tracker.
and that really exemplified the phrase, in space no one can hear you scream. Oh man, it was so quiet in there. And literally like the final moments of the movie where the alien just kind of uncurls itself and is going right at Ripley.
Oh my god.
Man, so much tension. I actually didn't see Alien until very later on in life. I'd seen Aliens in Aliens 3 when I was younger, but Alien I actually didn't see until maybe I was about 14, 15. And it was one of the scariest movies I'd ever seen.
I saw the original Alien. I was like 8 or 9 or so.
Oh, okay.
I also saw. I remember seeing Alien 3 at one of the first places I remember. One of the first houses I remember living in. I think it was on Apricot Street in Alaska.
Wow.
My dad was in the Air Force. We lived in Alaska for a while, and we watched Alien 3 there. And I just remember seeing that dude get his face cut by the alien. And he starts rolling towards the fan. I was like, that's pretty cool. But
did you ever watch The Thing?
Oh my god, yes.
The Thing would have been a great movie to watch in Alaska when it snowed.
Oh no, it wouldn't have. No, here's the thing. If I was a kid, I probably would have been like, it's scary, I'm going to bed, but and not sleep for a week. But if I was an adult, I would have been like, okay, so the odds of this happening are very low. But at the same time, give me a petri dish of your blood, okay? Just to make sure.
And a soldering iron.
Or what about just a really hot Q-tip? Or not Q-tip, I'm sorry, paperclip. It's kind of the same thing, right?
I mean, you want to hold a lighter to that, that's cool. I mean, I'm not touching that.
Just dip it in, it's fine.
Yeah,
no. You know what? Here's the thing. When you have limited resources, you have limited options. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, so Alien vs. Predator was one of those movies that should not be.
No, not
because
at all.
we took
let alone Requiem.
Oh, such a terrible movie.
I didn't see that one.
You know what the worst
on
part
principle, because I saw the first one.
I was so excited about it because first of all, I have this thing about I like to watch movies with aliens or monsters, or even when it comes down to combat, like just soldiers.
Right.
I like to see an urban combat or urban situations. Okay. Predator 1 in a jungle. Everything's in a jungle. Every video game, every horror movie, every monster movie is always in the forest or some desolate area or in a jungle or in space, right? Never remember when Jason Goes to Manhattan?
Yeah.
That was, it wasn't a good movie, but the fact is they went to New York. It was pretty cool.
Concrete jungle, concrete woods. Well, yeah. Concrete jungle, Predator 2.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I really liked Predator 2. Aside from the fact that, what's his face? Why can't I remember his name right now? Lethal Weapon.
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover. Yeah, Danny Glover. He's always getting too old with this shit. I think that he was. I don't know. I just really liked that movie because it was different.
Yeah.
You take the respect I had for both Predator and Predator 2, and the respect I had for whatever I had for the whole Alien franchise. And I was like, Alien vs. Predator. This is fantastic. I hope they go by the comic book arcs. I hope they give us something that.
That would have been so awesome.
And you know what? The fact of the matter is, there was a very loose tie-in with Weyland-Yutani. The only thing about the entire movie, by the way, that I actually liked was, first of all, I kind of like some of the fight scenes with the aliens and the predators. The first one specifically, when the alien got killed, or the alien killed the predator. I hate to see Predators die because they're cool, but like that was a really awesome fight scene. But
I hate to see Predators die.
Yeah, I mean
because they're cool.
I'm just saying they're my favorite. If I had to pick one of the two, I would vote Predator. If we had to vote for a president today, President Xenomorph and President Predator.
Yatra.
Huh?
The Yatra tribe. That's what they are.
Well, I mean, where's the other? I don't remember the tribe names. I remember the guys who used the aliens as the war dogs. I can't remember the name of that tribe. I would vote for them because they're pretty hardcore.
They're pretty hardcore.
Or the Super Black Predator, which always sounded so wrong to me. But yeah, no. I would vote Predator every time, and mostly just because of the fact that they have claws and they're all evil. Well, they're good evil.
Well, they're honorable.
Exactly. They don't kill you if you're pregnant. They won't kill you. If you got a gun, they'll kill you. But if you don't have a gun, they'll be like, want some candy?
They're like, this is too boring.
Pick that gun up. Do me a favor. Can you pick that up for me? Shrink. Just kill you. It's like, fooled you, right? No, but like
well, whatever the sound makes, that.
The cannon.
I love the heat vision noise.
The only thing from Heat Vision I remember that I liked him so much was, I just said it right now, with the kid. Remember when he was in Predator 2?
Yeah, he's Predator 2.
Want some candy?
Yeah.
Like, that was the greatest thing ever. Because now, every time I see the Predator, I just wish they could always share sound bites together.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Lols, guys, check this out. I saw this kid in New York." And then, like, he puts it on SoundCloud, right? so all the Predators download it. They're like, oh... laughing about it. So now they're getting ready to hunt down this alien. The alien's scared to hell, and it keeps saying, "Want some candy?" It'll be great.
That would be great.
But sorry about that. Alien vs. Predator was a terrible movie, except for bringing in Lance Hendrickson. I believe it's Hendrickson. Just you can't deny the fact that you always wanted to see him come back in a movie. And if you guys don't remember who he was, he played the android. He played Bishop in Aliens.
Yeah.
So coming back as a, I would say asthmatic or cancerous old man. I don't know. I think he had like lung cancer. I think it was, and he wanted to find this whole pyramid as part of his stamp on life. And to see him come back, he died very unceremoniously. I think that's kind of. If anything was ever a good example of what the people who made this movie did with the Alien Predator franchise, that was the best example of just stab it and throw it to the side. Yeah, that's all they did. They never went back to him saying, "Oh, my life, I've been doing this." No, he's just like, "Oh, I'm dead."
Yeah, and that's it. Kind of like the plot of those movies.
Well, you said you haven't seen the second one yet, right?
I haven't seen the second one.
What we need to do is sit down and watch the second one day.
No,
we need to, because the second one was probably the worst movie of any of the Alien movies. And the best part about it is the movie tries to play itself off as not being the worst. Like, I think every bad movie tries to do that, but this one is like, "Nah, guys, no, we're cool. See? You're in a sewer now. This kid delivers pizzas. He's just like you, but now he has guns." It's stupid.
Nice try, House of the Dead.
Right? Dude, seriously. You know what? I would actually rather watch House of the Dead. You're talking about that really... Oh my god. You know what? There was actually a few moments where I was watching Alien vs. Predator Requiem, and I was like, "Where are you at, Uwe Boll? I know you're under somewhere. You made
come on out here. Try to beat up some critics."
Dude, seriously. By the way, I think we're wrapping up on the Alien vs. Predator thing.
Yeah.
I just gotta tell everyone this: if you guys don't know who Uwe Boll is, look him up on Google. Uwe, and then Boll is just Boll.
Yeah.
The dude is Bole, right?
Boll. Yeah.
Okay. The guy is fantastic. If you tell him you don't like his work, he will take a swing at you. He's beaten up interviewers, I guess.
Yeah.
He's argued at people. I think he's literally broke all the time because he makes terrible movies.
And he makes them in volume. He doesn't just make one. He'll make like 5 at one time. And
it's the shotgun approach.
Yeah.
It's like, if this movie doesn't work, surely this one will. Yeah. But when you spend your entire time just trying to make movies that will spite the people you hate, like, you're gonna make bad movies.
And of course, he's famous for video game movies. I think it was Dungeon Siege in the Name of the King.
Oh my god!
And he did Postal, which actually I heard wasn't a bad movie.
Postal itself was not a bad movie until you get to the end.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I would say this. If you are unfamiliar with the Postal material, it is a shit movie. I'm sorry, we're not supposed to curse here on the show, but I just got to tell you, it is terrible. If you know a little bit about the Postal background and who the dude is, then you're gonna be like, I can get on this. I can get on board with this. This is not too bad. It's over the top. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right.
But I'm just gonna tell you, though, have you seen Postal?
I've never seen it. No.
I want to say it's like the last 30 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe is just beyond ridiculous. I mean, there's some crazy stuff. So I mean, it was a movie. That's all I'm gonna say.
It was a movie. It was by Uwe Boll.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's gonna conclude our Aliens and Predator wrap up. Which we'll probably revisit this because
we still have to watch Requiem.
We still have to watch Requiem, and we still have to establish whether or not Robert Rodriguez's Predators is a bad movie.
I can tell you that right now.
Let's move on. Okay, so we've already talked about our little spiel about Aliens versus Predators. We also wanted to touch base on a little game that came out this week, The Taken King. And I have some reservations about talking about this game because I was very angry this week when I found out that not only had the new update taken away everything I liked about the base game, which was,
like 3 things,
which was probably just 3 things, I'm not going to lie, but not only did it close off a ton of content for base game players, it flat out, dangles the expansion in front of your face. Hey, here's all this stuff you just had. Give me $40 and I'll give it back to you.
So, I heard about this. My friend was telling me today that the strikes are behind a paywall.
Yes, they are.
So, there's a...
Arguably, the only thing that I could actually get in mild enjoyment out of, I mean, ad nauseum, we're doing the same strike like a billion times, right?
Yeah.
But
Which,
still,
by the way, there's so many more now. It's kind of fun, by the way.
I mean, and I like that. I have the game on the PlayStation 4. I'm not going to begrudge the game as a game. I'm going to take this subjective point of view towards the actual developer, which is Bungie, because if you have content, or if you release a game with minimum content, and you charge people DLC for it, you put everything behind a paywall, and then you take even more content that was already in the game to begin with away from people. I mean, I just can't.
The only thing I can think of is this. Is like, so the original strikes literally were cut and paste.
They
right?
were. Cookie cutter strikes.
You would play one strike, then you'd play it on the higher tier. You'd work your way up to dragon strikes or rock strikes, whatever you're doing.
You do nightfall, stuff like that.
Yeah. So they were literally the same thing over and over again. Having said that, strikes now have variations. So where you used to fight one boss for sure, like what's the one I've been running the most because for some reason it loves me, is the Mars strike with Valis to Arc.
Right.
Okay. It used to be you run through, fight a whole bunch of Cabal, fight the Goliath tank, run through and fight Valis to Arc. Now, when you run through, that one room will either be full of Cabal or full of Taken. Fighting Cabal or fight actually, I've seen Taken and Vex. I've seen Taken and Cabal. I've seen Cabal just bumming around. So it's really neat. It adds a different layer.
There's variety to the older strikes now.
The mid boss Goliath.
Yeah.
You're either gonna fight the Goliath tank or you're gonna fight a whole bunch of Taken, and they're one giant Taken lord there.
Okay.
And then Valis to Arc is widely unchanged. Same fight. They haven't changed anything to it. But
okay.
The fact of the matter is, like, there's a lot of new content to it. Now, I'm not going to say that I do not feel the plight of gamers. I will tell you it's kind of hard to feel that way on my side of the paywall.
Because you have so much of the content already. You've already paid for it.
But when I heard about that, though, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't surprised.
I was very upset.
This is the same company that tried to charge $20 for a new emblem, a new shader, and 3 dances.
Well, having that stuff now actually kind of like I guess it cheapens my experience with the whole game. For one thing, you don't take away something you've already given to somebody. I mean, you really don't need to do that.
But what's also faced facts that WoW's done this already before too.
WoW has done this, but WoW's also free to play.
Up to level 20.
Up to level 20. But admittedly, you get most of your mild enjoyment from that first, 20 levels, and then you're just like, you know what? I want to keep playing, so I'm going to go ahead and get behind, get with the paywall. With Destiny, it's still a $30-$40 game. $20 if it's used probably, and then you still have to buy, what is it, $75 of extra content. Is it $35? Is it $25?
It's $35 for the. Well, now I mean they'll only sell it in. I think it's $60.
$60. Okay.
So you're gonna save yourself like $20.
$20. All right. So forgivable in some cases. The other portion of it was. Like me, a base user in Xbox One, it's actually cheaper for me to go out and buy the $60 game than it would be to just download the DLC. Now, the people that have already downloaded DLC and paid $60 on top of that, what is that, $95 now?
Yeah.
And then you're paying another $40?
Well, see, this was a big conversation me and my brother were having. Part of me said, if I buy the $60 version, I get the base game and I get Taken King and all the DLC. The other part of me says, I already own the DLC, so why am I going to pay the extra $20? They almost got me with those damn dances. They almost made me say, I need to have those dances with me. But I didn't. And I think that a lot of people had that problem deciding that. Ultimately, we both went with the $40 version because the fact of the matter is, I was tired of giving them money. I guarantee the next expansion when it comes out, it's going to have some... I would say it's going to be the same kind of thing. It's going to be like, oh, hey, you want this expansion? It's going to come with this game and all these other passes for $90. And then you're going to be like, what the hell did I pay this for? Unless they get smart and they say, okay, so now we're done destroying your wallets. If you want the expansion, here it is.
Which would be a really good show of faith.
But here's the thing though, like the new expansion's changed so much. The Destiny 2.0 is a completely different game. Now, we're not going to talk too much about content because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. And I'm not here to try to be a salesman to get you to buy the game. What I'm going to say is this: is I think that part of me would like to think that Bungie may have sent one or two people over to Blizzard Activision to say, how are you guys doing this? How are you guys making content and making it worthwhile to have people play it? Either that, or they all play WoW and they have a good idea how to do it anyway.
Right.
They implemented a lot of ideas that are in a lot of modern MMOs. And that's kind of where I'm like, okay, I don't feel as bad spending this money. I felt terrible spending $35 to have access to one new strike, a new raid, and some new weapons, and then just to do the same stuff over and over again. I don't feel too bad paying $40 to have all these new weapons, all these new things to do, hard content for once. Like, I'm actually not able to breeze through it as I was before.
The game actually feels like a completed game exactly 1 year later.
Yeah, like...
Damn near.
So, going from the original... going from Destiny to Dark Below was tough.
Right.
Because I didn't have all the great gear. But once they changed a few things, made drop rates higher, this or that, I was able to finally start getting gear without having to raid constantly.
Correct.
So I got all this gear, and then when it came up to the House of Wolves, I jumped in. Boom, my characters were 33, 34, no problem. Same thing here. I'm getting gear at an even pace, but it's not making it too easy. On the same token, it's getting you ready to get into the top tier content. So, I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I like it and I don't like it, but I like way more than I thought I would.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that this is still a great example of the paywall exclusion.
The nickel and diming of the gaming industry.
And this is never going to end.
Never.
Every company out there is going to say that they're not going to do the same thing, but they are.
Oh, yeah.
And fact of the matter is, welcome to video games. It's kind of sad that you can just sum it up with just that.
Yeah.
But I mean, video games are no longer just a product.
Right.
Now they're services and they're it's a lifestyle in some cases, you know.
Correct.
And because of that, they know now. Well, these guys are gonna pay $10, $15 a month to play online. These guys will pay $40 every 6 months for a new expansion or a new expansion pack. These guys will pay $20 for a shader, an emblem, and 3 dances. That's what I'm saying. Like,
welcome to video games.
That's it.
It's plain as simple as that. I did want to get into, real quick, the correct way to do DLC.
Okay.
GTA 5.
GTA 5 has been releasing a lot of free content.
A lot of free content.
But you know what I think what the thing is, though, is like they're not releasing specifically anything that... I guess the best way to put it, they're not saying, hey, look at this new golden mask, buy it.
No.
They're not saying, hey, look at this, buy it. They're not doing the payday way of doing things. What they're doing is they're saying, hey, here's an update. We're not going to tell you what's in there. Mess around with it and see what happens. And the new free mode thing going on, I don't have GTA anymore. Unfortunately, I sold GTA.
To buy the Taken King?
No, I sold it a long time ago. I think I sold it to get The Witcher or something.
Oh, okay.
Which I still haven't beat, which is really sad.
Yeah, that is. Well, I'm waiting for a price drop actually for The Witcher to actually be.
I'll tell you this, dude. Whatever price you buy it at, it's worth it.
Alrighty.
It's a fantastic game. It's really in depth, but it's too long. I haven't had a chance to play the new free mode missions. I will tell you that I'm excited about it, but we'll have to see. I'll probably end up picking it up soon so I can play with you guys online.
Yes, yeah. We'll need to start a crew with the Geek family.
That actually sounds like a pretty good idea.
That sounds like a good idea. We've been toying with the idea of creating some parties and stuff, getting all the listeners, our wonderful listeners, or just enough of them to have like a good time, and kind of make us a little bit more social, I guess. If you don't know who I am, or rather, if you don't know who Justin is, we can definitely get to know each other in a platonic way, of course. Nothing a little too weird for anybody. Don't want to put anybody off.
Nothing too weird. Although, I am not opposed to buying somebody dinner. Now, what's it called?
Neither am I. As long as it's pizza and there's, enough to go around, I can do that.
Refreshments.
Right.
No,
you bring the drinks. Everything else is,
No, but for real though, I mean, I think that having you guys involved with us as much as possible is what I'd like to do. Definitely, like I said, we mentioned before earlier what our gamer tags are.
I didn't mention mine only because I do want you to message us on Facebook or tweet us. I'll give you that. I don't want to put it out there. I don't need so-and-so random. I would like to put a face behind whoever adds me. So talk to me personally. Definitely would love that.
I already gave you mine. That's totally fine. I didn't know we were going to do this whole thing. That's totally cool. No, I don't care. Send me a message on Xbox or send me a message on Facebook. Even just add me, follow me. If I'm playing Destiny and you want to play Destiny, hit me up. I'm always doing stuff.
Watch us on Twitch.
Definitely on Twitch. In fact, more than likely, I'm going to... I think we're going to be having Twitch streams at least once every weekend.
Once every weekend, yes. And check us out on Twitch. Check us out on YouTube also. Working on some video content for the show.
For sure.
Which is going to be very exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be something. One last thing I think that would be important to talk about is, I guess I would just say that I think that it's fantastic that you guys have been sitting here with us. Two guys sitting here talking about whatever they want to talk about, and people would actually listen to it is beyond me. There's some people who follow us I don't even know. There's some people who listen to it on YouTube. I guarantee I don't even know.
Right.
And the fact that someone actually listens to this is just fantastic. So I appreciate all the comments you guys leave us, all the mentions, all the shares. None of this, however small it may be now, and whatever size it gets later on, even if it becomes still just a family, a friend thing kind of thing. Fact of the matter is, no matter where it goes, it's always because of you guys. So I definitely want to say thank you.
Exactly. And I just want to, thank everybody for listening to the show as well. Check us out on Facebook if you haven't already. Of course, we post these on YouTube, so give us a like on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe. Obviously, look us up on Twitter at acgeekspeak.com, or excuse me, it's GeekSpeak. And check us out over at Alamo City Comics as well. I work there on the weekends, so I'd love to have some listeners come in every once in a while. We can talk nerd.
Look up some comics. I only personally have like 3 Deadpool comics, so maybe I should go over there and check some stuff out.
Right.
If you also feel like reading, make sure to check out online, originalgamer.com. Some great content on there. I know the editor. He's a great guy. In fact, we're hopefully, fingers crossed, things are going to happen for us this year too for PAX. So just stay tuned for that. But make sure to check out originalgamer.com. It's always some reviews, some news content. We're always looking to keep in touch with our fan base. So other than that, Pete, you got anything else?
We're wrapping it up, Geek Family. My name is Pete.
My name is Justin.
And we'll be seeing you guys. Y'all take care and spike your hair.
Spike your hair.
That was pretty lame, right?
That was pretty lame. You know what? Y'all take care and say no to want some candy?
Say no to drugs, kids. See you later.
Goes on.